Relationships are something important and valuable that every person in the world should inhabit. They give us comfort, hope, and structure for the challenges we face in our day-to-day lives. Now, that's not to say that relationships are easy. In fact, they may be part of those little challenges you experience, but at the end of the day, relationships are good for you, and everyone needs them one way or another. Humans are lucky to have these relationships, as not all things in the world have the ability to connect and feel as we do. But lately, in the 20th century, people have been beginning to forget the true essence and love that relationships are supposed to be built upon. Instead of being loyal, we cheat. Instead of communicating, we hide since we're afraid of what the other might think. Instead of being in a relationship, we would rather be alone since we know ourselves best. But all of these flaws, all of these mistakes, they weren't how relationships were done back in the day. It was simple. You can make a friend, partner, lover instantly if you would just ask them to be, or were brave enough to tell them. But now relationships are honestly breaking apart. It's more about intimacy or security rather than actual feelings or dependence on that person to be in your life. Due to this, relationships are not nearly as formed as they were before. This is Ben, and today we're getting into what really happened to relationships. Remember to like and subscribe and keep a peace of mind. Now, let's get into it. To start off, there are many forms of relationships. You could be in a relationship with a friend, a pet, your mom, your dad, your ex after telling you that it's better just to be friends. Although some of these play differently than others, they all have one thing in common, and that's being in a relationship. So, for these relationships, I'll treat them all the same and talk about the factors that make these relationships so disappointing today. First off, media. Social media is a huge factor into what relationships are thought of today. Seeing people online with better lives, better friends, better houses, of course some of us will get jealous, and sadly some of us think that this is the normal way of living when they grow up. Mostly for intimate relationships, people who want the love of their life want the hottest or best looking person you have ever seen in your life. They also want this person to be filthy rich and have way more income than the average Joe. However, to be completely truthful, this is fucking stupid. The average income of a citizen is about 40 grand to 50 grand. Some people even make less than this and still get by with living and having a balanced life. Also, being rich in today's economy is next to near impossible. Having to constantly pay memberships, bills, gas, water, you name it. Everything around us has a price, and while it continues to get higher, the average income barely does. So expecting a person with a mansion, Gucci clothes, and an inside water park is something that should just be kept in fairy tale books. And in addition, expecting the love of your life to be some Ice Spice, Ryan Reynolds, Selena Gomez type of person is laughable in itself. Just because the person looks hot or has the most expensive things in their life doesn't make them a good person. In fact, the people who have these attributes are probably the worst when it comes to actual relationships. They probably had it easy their whole life and take everything for granted. Not to say that everyone with these attributes do, but I would say that most definitely don't have the best intentions at heart. And while going into other relationships like family relationships, giving your kid the newest iPhone 16 at the very developed age of 4 is not a good idea. They're too young to understand what they have is actually a privilege, and if you keep on doing it, of course they're going to be needy and unfazed of consequences when they get older. Overall, media made us believe myths instead of living in actual present day. Alright, that should be most of what I needed to say in this section. Next up, the hub. I understand if you want to skip this section, just go to the timestamp shown if you don't want to hear it. But now, we're getting into the touchy subject. Literally. Anyways, this one might come out of the blue, but let's be honest, this shit is not good for you. The hub, which I'm pretty sure we all know what I'm referencing, is not good for expectations in doing it. The reason why this is listed is not because it's not normal to work it, but it's not a reality with the real thing. The internet has a lot of stuff you shouldn't know at a young age, and the reason why I say that is because content like on the hub is surprisingly easy to see. I mean, I bet if I went on YouTube right now, I would be seeing corn ads everywhere on the kids section of YouTube. That is not okay, bro. And not only that, but people in real life actually believe that this is what first experiences are like. Now, I have no knowledge of this because I am a fucking virgin. But after gathering information from friends, colleagues, and the internet without actually looking up the real thing, I could confidently say that yeah, your first time isn't gonna be what it is like in the videos. But if you choose right, it will be even better than that. Intimacy isn't just about how much poses you could do, but the emotions you feel from your partner, knowing that this person was probably someone you had a crush crush on for a while and you got to know them makes the experience 10 times better. However, there's also another thing I want to talk about that goes right into this. High school. For as long as mankind has lived, people always flex about having their first ever experience in high school. Makes sense, hormones are off the roof, teenagers are angsty, and the school bathroom has no cameras in sight. However, I feel like nowadays it's actually easier to lose the V-Bucks card rather than to save it for another skin. I honestly feel like there are a lot of down bad people in high school, and some of them you could just go up to them and they would instantly say yes without hesitation. Now you could say I'm wrong, and that's your opinion, but I feel like there are some people that would agree with me on this. I'm not saying cook with extra virgin olive oil forever, but it's just something to take note of. Alright, the next one is employment. Sometimes in life, you simply just don't have enough time to keep up with relationships while also pursuing the goals you want to achieve. You're busy with work, school, playing Clash Royale, etc. The point is that even if you wanted a relationship and would be good at a relationship, you sometimes can't put the time and effort in for it. Bills need to get paid, work needs to get done, and caring for yourself would be neglected if you use that time caring for your other person. You could burn out, be exhausted, or just simply be unmotivated to do anything since you're constantly working or caring about another person rather than yourself. Now, it's not wrong to do that, but many people would like time for themselves just simply because they could do what they desire. But if there's no time for self-care, there's a big part of you that doesn't get the attention it needs. Of course, this does vary between person to person, but me personally, I would just like to chill out sometimes because that's what I like to do. But hey, maybe I'm wrong on this one. The last topic is understanding, communication, and pacing. The last big problem with relationships that I could think of is the problem of understanding the situation you're in. A lot of people in relationships think that they need to text every day to their partner, hang out every day with their friend, or be with someone every single moment of their life. The fact is that pacing needs to be adapted. Some people aren't as fast as you are, and some people aren't as slow. You just need to communicate that to each other so there's nothing left out of bounds. Sadly, there are a lot of relationships that get caught off so early just because it was too fast or too slow, making it either fatiguing or boring for the other person. Another thing is just to see the flags. There are a lot of hints if your friend, partner, or whoever is good or not. Just make sure you know who you're talking to and know who you connect with. In conclusion, relationships are different, that's for sure. They aren't nearly as stable, emotional, or structured as they were before. The media changed us, development changed us, society changed us, but that doesn't mean that there's not good ones still. It's just that they're a lot rarer than what it once used to be. I just hate how people tend to be more hostile than friendly when it comes to these things. We need each other, we want each other, and we have each other. Relationships are something beautiful. Don't ruin it just because there's more options out there. You will find someone eventually. Just don't go for the person that isn't right for you. This is Ben, and these were the problems with relationships. Remember to like and subscribe, comment down below what you hated and loved, and I will see you guys next time. See ya. Luces bajas, nadie fala. Tus ojos gritan lo que tu boca cala. Silencio tenso.